In rural Honduras, 10-month-old Stephen fights to breathe. To reach a doctor, his mother Narada walked for hours, carrying her feverish baby in her arms. She's told the violent shaking of his chest signals pneumonia, a dangerous bacterial infection. Fortunately, there are medicines that can cure this disease, antibiotics, but only if they're given in time. And Stephen has lost precious hours. He must be sent to a hospital to be put on a respirator. During the nerve-wracking 4-hour journey, Narada prays the antibiotics being injected into Stephen will work. As the ambulance races, a nurse keeps him breathing with a hand pump. In the emergency ward, doctors struggle to get Stephen on the only available respirator in the country. As her son clings to life, Narada can only watch and hope. Doctor has helped to stabilize Stephen. Now it's a waiting game.
Because pneumonia, when it's treated as soon as the first symptoms arise, in most cases, is totally curable.
Los casos evolucionan satisfactoriamente.
As the days pass, Stephen's antibiotics finally beat back the infection. Exhausted, but over the crisis, he has survived an attack by one of our deadliest enemies, bacteria. These microscopic creatures have dominated the planet for over 3 billion years, and they can be found everywhere.
They can live in boiling water, they can live in freezing temperatures, they can live in the center of solid rock, and in fact, if we look at our own bodies, we are basically walking bacteria. There are on the order of 10 to 100 trillion bacterial cells on and in us, every one of us. We could not live without bacteria.
While most bacteria are useful, even helping to make the oxygen we breathe, some cause severe disease. For millennia, there were no medicines to stop their deadly assault. But with the dawn of the 20th century, a new war against microbes was about to begin. World War I. Battles are raging across Europe. And wherever the guns go, deadly bacterial infections follow close behind. In a field hospital in France, Alexander Fleming, a young British doctor, is horrified by what he sees around him. More soldiers die from the bacteria invading their open wounds than from bombs or bullets. Desperate for any solution, the medics try scouring the injuries with carbolic acid, a chemical antiseptic used to clean sewer pipes. The treatment is useless. And by the end of the war, bacterial infections will claim millions of lives. Alexander Fleming, a doctor without a cure, would return to London and dedicate his life to finding them. He begins by studying bacteria, determined to find chinks in their armor. Year after year, he gets nowhere. Then, one day in 1928, chance intervenes, thanks to Fleming's sloppy housekeeping. In a pile of petri dishes he's forgotten to clean, he notices something unusual. A stray bit of mold has landed on a dish of deadly bacteria, and it's wiping them out.
He looks into this dish, and he sees what turns out to be one of the great scientific discoveries ever. Here was a killer organism, Staphylococcus, terrible to human beings, dead from something that a mold had produced. Fleming is clearly aware of the notion that life hinders life. The notion that one organism can eat another like a lion eats its prey in the jungle.
Just like creatures in the visible world, microscopic life, like molds and bacteria, will fight each other for survival. In a moment of epiphany, Fleming realizes the mold is defending itself by secreting something that destroys the bacteria. The mysterious substance targets the cell walls, prohibiting the bacteria from dividing and producing more bacteria, so they quickly die off. Fleming calls his discovery penicillin, after the common mold penicillium, which is often found on rotting food. If he can isolate the bacteria-killing substance, he might have the weapon he's been searching for.
And he would really spend the next 2 or 3 years trying to discern what it was in this mold that killed the bacteria. But he was not a chemist.
Unable to extract the penicillin, Fleming finally gives up. But he publishes an article in an obscure journal and keeps the original mold alive, just in case. Had it not been for another world war, Fleming's discovery may have remained quietly hidden. But as World War II engulfs the globe, infections are again killing soldiers at an alarming rate. Searching for a cure, Oxford scientists Howard Florey and Ernst Chain discover Fleming's paper on penicillin and borrow his penicillium molds. They then set out to accomplish what Fleming could not.
Penicillin is the most elusive, unstable bit of medicine you could ever try to capture. It was this will-o'-the-wisp that would disappear.
Finally, by altering the chemical state of molecules produced by the mold, they isolate small amounts of penicillin. It easily cures infections in mice. But will it work as well on humans? Their first patient is a dying policeman named Albert Alexander, who scratched his cheek in his rose garden.
Imagine a time where just scratching your face on a rose thorn can lead you to be so eaten by bacteria. That's Albert Alexander. And the bacteria are eating through his body like worms eating an apple. And then he gets a shot of penicillin, one shot of penicillin that's not even particularly pure. And then this miraculous thing occurs. These bacteria, which have had their will with him, are suddenly at bay. Here are Chain and Florey and the others are thinking, this is a gigantic moment in medicine. We're going to cure this man from the brink of death. And then they ran out of penicillin. And he died that horrible death that he had nearly died a month before.
Despite the tragedy, Florey and Chain are certain they found one of the holy grails of medicine, a drug to stop infections. But with British industry crippled by Nazi bombing, how will they ever produce enough of it? Florey turns to American companies for help, and they discover how to mass-produce the drug by fermenting it like beer.
Scientists are manufacturing this wonder drug in enormous quantities.
The wonder drug proves itself a potent weapon, saving thousands of Allied soldiers' lives.
Until the Second World War, there wasn't a lot that could actually be done for people. And the discovery of penicillin led to a great opening of the era of medicines.
The realization that a simple mold could produce an effective drug inspires scientists to search for other organisms that might do the same. New medicines derived from molds, funguses, and even bacteria flood the market. Tetracycline, cephalosporin, erythromycin. Called antibiotics, meaning against life, these miracle drugs can stop infections like pneumonia, gangrene, and meningitis. Even the most widespread bacterial disease of all, tuberculosis, is finally curable with antibiotics. In the epic war against microbes, it looks as if humanity has finally won. It's a huge gamble. The only thing sure is time is running out, and the epidemic is spreading.